What's up, guys? Matt Moda here with Crossing Broad, here to talk to you about the Eagles versus Broncos game in week 5 of the NFL season. The Eagles are 4-0, find themselves about 4-point home favorites on BetMGM for this game on Sunday. We're going to talk about all that. Before we get into it, a couple things. Number one, we'll do a recap from last week. Did not get our Devontae Smith receiving a prop to cash last week. We had him 50 plus. He had 29 yards in the first half. I was feeling pretty good. The Eagles did not complete a pass in the second half, which means that Devontae Smith did not get 50 plus receiving yards. So that one goes down as an L. Just a pretty gross game for the Eagles offense in the second half. Again, literally did not complete a single pass. So we'll hope to improve upon last week. And before we get into it, just make sure to head to BetMGM, sign up using the promo code CROSSING. You can get yourself the best welcome offer in your state. I would appreciate it, everybody watching this video, if you could like, comment, subscribe, of course, all that good stuff. And we're going to get right into it. So as I mentioned, the Eagles find themselves 4-point favorites in this one. I actually like the Broncos to cover the spread in this one, and I like this game to go under the total that you see on the screen here. Now, I get fading the Eagles seems ridiculous when they're 4-0 and they're actually 3-1 against the spread. If you were to look at the 8 halves of football that the Eagles have played this year, they've played good, played well in like 2 of them. The second half of the Rams game was awesome. The first half of the Bucs game was awesome. Other than that, they really haven't been able to do much. Now, this Broncos team, kind of disappointing through the first 3 weeks of the year, but they did seem to get it together last week. Obviously, a huge blowout of the Bengals. Granted, sure, it's the Bengals, but they have a fantastic defense, really good secondary led by Patrick Surtain, really good pass rush led by Benito. They have really good defensive line in general. Zach Gallen, very, very good defensive lineman for the Broncos. And the Eagles, I just need to see them play a complete game in order for me to think that they are going to cover this 4-point spread against a good team. They could still win like it did against the Chiefs and just not cover this 4.5-point spread, which is definitely possible. They could win by a field goal and the Broncos would still cover this +4. And the Eagles, they're like the definition of they can't keep getting away with this meme where they continue to not play well and they continue to win these games. Everybody's talking about the 2023 season. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen because their defense is way better than it ever was that year. I do think that there is some similarities into the ways in which they're winning these games being unsustainable. And the Eagles defense, I have a lot of confidence in, even though they kind of put up a lot of points against the Bucs last week. They were on the field a ton in that game, 100-degree weather in that game, and they had 2 broken plays that went for 70-plus yard touchdowns, which is just not something that you can count on game over game. So I do think that the Eagles defense is going to play well. I just have no idea what to expect from the offense, and I can't just expect them to put it together because, again, they played well in like 2 of the 8 halves, maybe 3 of the 8 halves of this year. So Broncos covering the 4-point spread, the total going under are 2 mainline plays that I like. In terms of a player prop, I have no idea what to do with the Eagles. I'll be honest, they're just an impossible team to understand. But I do like a player prop on the Broncos side, and it's Troy Franklin. You can get him over 38.5 yards at -110 odds at BetMGM. I really like that one a lot. Troy Franklin has had a pretty good start. He kind of was slow last year, which was his rookie year. Has had a pretty good start to the year this year, and I really like his role in the offense, and I really like the matchup against the Eagles defense. You look at Troy Franklin since week 2. He leads the Broncos in route participation, playing about 80%, running a route on about 80% of the routes. He also leads the team in first read target rate, meaning what percentage of the first read targets on the team does he receive? 24.6%. So a lot goes into Courtland Sutton being the number 1 option on this Broncos team, which, yeah, sure, he is their alpha wide receiver. Troy Franklin is getting the most work on this team. And I like the fact that the most likely scenario here is that Quinyon Mitchell is going to shadow Courtland Sutton. We saw Quinyon Mitchell shadow Devontae Adams and Emeka Egbuka the previous 2 weeks and held them to very, very little production. Egbuka got loose. That was against a safety. That was not when he was being shadowed by Quinyon Mitchell. And it was the same thing for Devontae Adams. The touchdown that he had a couple weeks ago, he was lined up 1-on-1 against the safety based on a nice motion that the Rams ran. It was not against Quinyon Mitchell. So Quinyon's going to travel with Courtland Sutton. Troy Franklin, he will get matched up with Cooper DeJean in the slot a lot. And yes, Cooper DeJean is very good. But the matchup that we like here for Troy Franklin is the first read target rate. And they use him on a lot of designed plays. Meaning like play is literally designed to go to Troy Franklin, a screen, a play action pass where he's running along the flat, something like that. Like literally the play is like, hey, we're running this for Troy Franklin. It's a little bit different than the quarterback dropping back and going through his reads and a player being the first read, which is Troy Franklin a lot. This is a play designed for him. And to give you kind of context for that, as good as the Eagles defense is, they allow 8.7 yards per attempt when the team runs play action against them. That's the 8th most in the entire NFL. You look at plays that do not include play action, only 5.5 yards per attempt, and that's the 3rd fewest in the NFL. And the reason why that's important is because the Broncos run play action at the third highest rate in the entire NFL. It's a Sean Payton special. Sean Payton staple, running a lot of play action plays, trying to get the defense and the linebackers specifically to just kind of have their eyes not be where they should be and to just have their eyes drop a little bit. And as good as the Eagles are, they're playing a rookie safety and a rookie linebacker who you can target. You can target them with play action plays. So I do think that a lot of the play action stuff, a lot of the design stuff is going to go to Troy Franklin, and I think that Sean Payton kind of knows how to use him. So the plays that we're locking in here is Troy Franklin over 38.5 receiving yards, and then the under of the total in this game. Then we're also taking the Broncos to cover the spread. I get that for a Philly channel. It's kind of lame taking plays for the Broncos, but that's just kind of how I see this game going. If you want a lean A.J. Brown anytime touchdown, they just force feed him the ball, especially in the red zone, to try and kind of get that going. It worked 2 weeks ago against the Rams. We'll see if it works this week against the Broncos. It's a tough matchup for A.J. Brown against Patrick Surtain, and even their other cornerback that he might get lined up with is good. Riley Moss is good on the Broncos as well, so it's not a great matchup for him, but it's one of those things where maybe they just try to force feed it. Not making it official play because I need a little bit more data to back up a play, but just if you want something on the Eagles side, would be A.J. Brown anytime touchdown. But that's all we got. So make sure to head to BetMGM, sign up using the promo code CROSSING. I appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one. Must be 21 or older in participating states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See terms and conditions in the description of the video.